What's going on, guys? It's your boy Kev here, back with another video. We're doing some more NBA prize picks for tomorrow, aka Thursday slate. So super excited to get into this, guys. Guys, if you're new to the channel and or new to prize picks, let me give you a quick rundown like I do every single video. So prize picks is essentially a daily fantasy sports platform where instead of picking the players, you pick the overs and unders on the projections of players. So as you see here, we're going to look at Rudy Gobert at 40 points. I can either take the over or under on him, depending on how I think he'll do, and I can pick and pair that 2, 3, 4, or 5 times between that many players, so it's kind of like a parlay in that aspect. It's pretty cool because you can actually do it with different sports as well, which is my favorite aspect. So I can take Gobert over at 40 like I just talked about, switch over to Tom Brady, take the over of 21 for Tom Brady, and do as many times as I want. Obviously the higher risk, high reward, but as you see, they offer a ton of sports. They're starting to do some single stat stuff now too, as you saw on I think it was on the main page somewhere where I was over there. But yeah, you can do single stats too. It's really cool, and yeah, it's awesome. Obviously, like I said, the more risk you do, the more reward. But if you do like prize picks and you sign up for it and you're new to it, please use code DGF. It really helps us, really supports the channel. We notice when you guys do as well, so absolutely do that if you do sign up. And I'll let you know right now, you use our code, you'll get a promo where whatever you deposit, up to $100 will be matched fully, up to obviously 100%, up to $100. So it's pretty cool. I mean, it's free money. I don't get any more money to tell you guys that. I just tell you guys to do it all the time because, whenever I have anything, Draftkings, FanDuel, anything, offer a promotion like that, it's free money. Take it. So I think just a little tidbit too, I believe I saw a commercial for this. I got to check it out, actually. I think the Super Bowl, DraftKings is doing something like that for the Super Bowl where you can just, enter to get free money or something like that. So I'm definitely going to have to look into that. But that being said, let's get into these picks. So first things first, we're going to look at Rudy Gobert at 40, as we just talked about. I'm actually going to avoid him at 40. The Jazz really don't have any, major injuries to touch on, so Rudy should be playing fairly consistently. That being said, he's just not. I'm going to avoid him. I mean, he's been under 40 about 60% of the time of his last 10 games. You guys know, usually if we're looking at 10 game, sample size, I usually like to go around 70% before I make a hard stance. Different situations will change that. If there's injuries, if there's matchups will change that too. But as a whole and as a rule, I'm usually looking at 70%. But he's short of that, and it's not quite enough of a situation for me to want to change that. He's had some weird games in that span too. I mean, he had a 71-point game followed by 3 sub 35-point games in a row. So he's been super inconsistent. So I will be avoiding him. Moving on to Young at 44. You guys know Young is like my favorite player in prize picks right now. Unfortunately, I mean, all good things have to come to an end. I was taking the over on him every single time. He did have he didn't hit the over. I'm not going to say a bad game. I mean, he still had like 39 points or something tonight, but he just didn't hit his over of his projection. But, he did get double teamed a lot. I was watching the game, and it was tough. I mean, he did break free a couple times, but I think this is a little bit more favorable in a matchup. I think he'll bounce back, and like I said, he barely fell short, even with being doubled up and stuff. And this is a super, still a super consistent guy. He's cleared 44 points in 8 of his last 9 games. So that's someone, I mean, still, that's someone I really want to lock in and kind of build my lineups around when I'm, making these parlays. And I mean, if I want to put 2 together, I'm going to start with him. He's half of it right there. So I'll be honest, he's still my best lock on this slate. So let's move on to, that's enough about my favorite guy. Let's talk about Mitchell at 38. I'm going to avoid Mitchell at 38. Like Rudy, Mitchell is just another nightmare Jazz player I don't want to touch. I mean, he just had back-to-back games under 22 points, and right before that, he had back-to-back games of over 40 points. It's just too inconsistent. It's not really doing us any favors, and, aside from the inconsistency, when he is actually consistent, it's dead even around 38 points. He's always at like 37, 37, 36, 39. So it's like, even when he's on, it's too accurate of a projection. So I will be avoiding him at 38 points. Moving on to Steph Curry, another person. I'll tell you, I'll talk about 2 more people that burn me off of consistency lately. We usually do pretty good here, so you don't hear a lot of these horror stories, but I'll be honest. I mean, the Young one falling under, that one I'm okay with. I mean, like I said, he'll bounce back. Steph Curry, again, another one that's just super annoying. And Luka too, who I'll talk about in a sec. But I took the under after, Steph's been super inconsistent, like crazy, just hasn't been doing super good. And usually when he's inconsistent, he's falling under, that price point of 46 or whatever it is. And of course, I said under last game, which I usually don't like to go against super studs like this because you never know what they're going to do. But I still said go under. And of course, he has the best game of this season at like 70 points or something crazy that he got. So that was fun. But call me crazy, I still will lean slight under on this. He's still been under this point projection of 46, 9 of his last 12. So I mean, he's still been under 75% of his games of his last 12. So I mean, you got to consider that that's still pretty consistent to go under, but if you do not want to get burned again, and that's something that, you know, is still fresh in your mind, I understand if you want to avoid him. Let's move to Luka, who absolutely toasted me tonight. Luka, I said to take the slight under at 54, I think it was last night, and I said to take it for tonight's game. And I will say, it was a slight under as he was just on the line of 70%, and I knew it was a very favorable matchup. But, you know, numbers-wise, it still made a little bit of sense to do that. And, you know, he cleared it by about, I think, 8 points tonight, so it's not like he knocked it out of the park, but, you know, it was a good game for him. And like I said, super stud player, so it's kind of dangerous going against studs sometimes. I think he's now at the point where he's too inconsistent to have a stance on. I avoided him for a long time. I was a little nervous last night taking a stance on him, and I think I'm going to avoid him again. I mean, he's so capable of doing, you know, over under through his last 6 games. If we're just looking at this 54-point projection, he's been over 3 times, under 3 times. So I'm probably going to avoid him at least until I see some consistent overage or underage of what his fantasy projection is. Moving on to Dame at 52. I'm going to avoid Damian. I avoided him last time, and he got 47 points, so I think that was a good fade. He's just always dancing around that, you know, projection. He's so close to this all the time, and, you know, he's hit under 52 more times than not. I mean, 52 is tough, and he has been under more times than not. But again, stud player, super capable of hitting over, and it's not enough. You know, he's not over or under, you know, 9 out of 10 times, even 7 out of 10 times. I mean, it's probably like he's under 6 out of 10 times or something. So it's just too close to the line where, you know, it's not consistently bad enough for me to want to go under. So I'm just going to avoid Dame altogether. Moving on to Joel Embiid. Really good pick from last slate. I said to take the over, even at a ridiculously high projection. I think he was at 52, and I said to take the over, and he cleared it tonight with 55. You know, this is great. Love seeing him play. I know his back tightness was causing him some issues, and there was a little questionability, but I said if he plays, he's a lock for the over, and that came true. I mean, as it's a high point projection, especially at 50 again. But as someone who has cleared 50 in 6 of his last 8, I mean, I feel like I got to take the over again. It's a slightly better matchup, or I should say, less favorable matchup and better defense in the Trailblazers. But that being said, I mean, he's just consistently over. He's getting, you know, over 50, 75% of the time. So I think that's a slight over as well. So, you know, that's very interesting. I'm probably gonna take it again. That's going to do it, guys. There actually isn't 8. Usually there's 8 picks on this first look, and then they drop a ton more before slate locks, but there's only 7 this time. But I want to give you guys, you know, good in-depth, you know, information and insight on all of them. So let me run through real quick. Joel Embiid, I'm going to take the over of. Dame, I'm going to avoid. Luka, I'm going to avoid. Steph, I will take one more shot at the under. If he starts hitting over again, I'm going to wait and see how Steph starts to, you know, put this year together. We all know how good he is, but, you know, I think he's still shown enough, I don't want to say inconsistency, but enough times hitting the under where I'm still on the under train. Mitchell, I'm going to avoid. I mean, he's just a nightmare at that point, and same with Rudy on the same team. And then Young, I'm still going to take the over. Like I said, fell a little bit short tonight, but still has hit over 44 points in 8 of his last 9. That's ridiculous. I mean, I'm surprised his projection's still at 44, so definitely want to take that. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, if you sign up for Prizepicks, you like it, please use code DGF. It really helps support the channel. We've got a ton more content coming out. I'm going to give you guys some NFL Prizepicks tomorrow night. That's Thursday night. Friday, I'm going to be kicking out a wicked good MMA video. I think it's changing around. There's like 12 or 13 fights now. It keeps shifting all the time, so bear with us while we you know, figure that out. But there's some really good fights. We have a ton of great MMA events coming up. I'm super psyched. And then I think Friday or Saturday we're going to kick out that video for our final Super Bowl picks, and sadly our last official, I guess, football video of the year. And then we'll go into some, you know, preseason stuff. I want to get right into it. I'm not done with football yet. I don't care if the Super Bowl's over, so definitely stick around with that stuff. But thank you guys for tuning in. If you enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and smash that notification bell. And as always, let's cash.